What's up, everyone? Welcome to the December 9th edition of the NBA Injury Report brought to you by BetMGM. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. We have a 10-game NBA slate to look at tonight. Plenty of moving parts, plenty of injuries to discuss. But first, click the link in the description below. Sign up and deposit at BetMGM. Place a real money wager and receive a risk-free first bet up to $1,000 in addition to 2 free months of Stokastic Plus Platinum. Now, taking a look at the injury news that we are currently waiting on, starting with the Indiana Pacers, they have several role players questionable, but the big piece that we need to know is Myles Turner. He's questionable for tonight's game after playing about 33 and a half minutes in his last game. He missed the game before that. I'm assuming he plays, but he is listed as questionable. If he's out, there are multiple ways this lineup could go. In the last game that he missed, we saw Benedict Mathurin start in his place. They moved Jalen Smith to the 5. They could do that. They could start Isaiah Jackson. Either one would look better if they start. For the Washington Wizards, Kristaps Porzingis is questionable. He rolled his ankle in his last game, but then still managed to play about 35 minutes. Will Barton is questionable as well. The Barton piece isn't as important. If he is out, it just really helps to solidify playing time for guys like Denny Avdia and Corey Kispert, but they're likely to play a lot of minutes anyway. Jordan Goodwin's playing time would be more secure as well. But the Porzingis piece is big because Bradley Beal is already out. So if Porzingis is out, there's more usage to go around for Kyle Kuzma and everybody else on the team, but there's also a lot more minutes available for Daniel Gafford, who's a very good point per minute guy when he's on the floor. Porzingis and Gafford have been playing minutes alongside each other recently anyway, but if Porzingis is out, it's likely that Gafford would move into the starting lineup and be a very good value option. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, Donovan Mitchell is questionable. If he were to miss this game, Darius Garland is going to look a lot better as the offense will run through him even more than it already does. You also will most likely see increased playing time for Cedi Osman and Karis LeVert. Both of those guys would look better as well. For the Sacramento Kings, De'Aaron Fox and Terrence Davis are questionable. The Terrence Davis piece on its own doesn't matter very much. If he's in, he's probably playing 10 to 12 minutes. If he's out, you get a little bit more playing time for guys like Trey Lyles or KZ Okpala, guys that don't really matter for DFS. But the De'Aaron Fox piece is obviously big. He is the primary playmaker. He's a high usage guy. So if he is out, you're expecting to see more rates for everybody in the offense, but especially for Domantas Sabonis, who himself is a capable playmaker and scorer. You also would likely get Davion Mitchell in the starting lineup, playing a lot of minutes. There would also be more minutes available for Malik Monk off the bench. For the Memphis Grizzlies, Steven Adams is questionable. This one is really easy. If he is out, you can expect Brandon Clark to start and play a lot of minutes. Clark would look like one of the absolute best values on the slate if he starts in place of Adams. And for the Utah Jazz, Mike Conley is questionable, but did say he expects to play. Lauri Markkanen is questionable as well after being ruled out not long before Utah's last game. If Markkanen is out, it's likely that you get Malik Beasley in the starting lineup. You also would probably get a bit more playing time for guys like Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Rudy Gay, and Fontecchio, who also is questionable himself. But the biggest impact would be the playing time for Malik Beasley and also solidifying playing time for whoever starts at center, most likely Walker Kessler, but potentially also Jared Vanderbilt. So to recap, the big pieces of injury news we are currently waiting on: Myles Turner, questionable for the Pacers; Kristaps Porzingis, questionable for Washington; Donovan Mitchell, questionable for the Cavs; De'Aaron Fox, questionable for Sacramento; Steven Adams, questionable for Memphis; Lauri Markkanen and Mike Conley, questionable for the Jazz, though Conley is expected to play. I did also overlook DeAndre Hunter is questionable for the Hawks. Not a huge piece of news in the context of the entire slate, but if he is out, we should expect AJ Griffin to start in his place once again.